it's me, the Baroness of Books, here with a quick life update and to share some of my favorite fantasy books. I love the fantasy genre, especially now, as it allows me to explore new worlds and magic, and also get to know some familiar characters. So, without further ado, first, my life update. I am doing pretty okay. Being stuck inside of my house is difficult, but I am glad that I have so many books to read and a lot of things to keep me occupied. Very grateful for that. I have been getting to do a little bit of crafting, so recently, well, a couple minutes ago, I just finished gluing some ribbons onto these headbands to give them a bit of an updated look, and I really like the way they match my outfits and make me feel a little bit classier. So that's it for me. I am currently reading The Afterword by E.K. Johnston, and I'm very much liking it so far. A lot of questing, a lot of knighthood, exciting things going on. Next, my recommendations for my favorite fantasy books. Now, these aren't hidden gems or anything. A lot of them are very popular books that you honestly may have heard of before. I just wanted to give you a little bit of insight into my personal reading tastes. So, first, we have Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. Leigh is an amazing writer. She has the Grishaverse, the Grisha trilogy, and Six of Crows duology. But Ninth House is personally my favorite of her books because it's contemporary fantasy, which I personally find very refreshing. I like to see books that are set in the modern world with modern technology and also include ghosts, a little bit of the paranormal, as well as a sort of magical aspect to it. So this takes place in New Haven in the 21st century, and it involves, like I said, a lot of the paranormal and very much a secret society book, which is something that I am also attracted to. So next we have Wicked Like a Wildfire, which is another contemporary fantasy, except this time dealing with family themes, motherhood, sisterhood, and the gleam, which is these two sisters have different magics, and it's all about beauty and perception, and I found it very enchanting. I loved this one. It is such a magical read, no pun intended, and I hope that if some of you have checked it out, you'll tell me down in the comments. Next, we have Furyborn, which is a high fantasy set in a completely different world. I like high fantasies that have a side of royalty, so Furyborn has political intrigue as well as magic, and that is always sure to keep me enthralled. I am definitely a fan of seeing court dynamics and struggles between characters that I think can be very formative for them, and Furyborn definitely has a lot of that. The sequel to, well, it's a trilogy, so the sequel, Kingsbane, is out now, and a third book, Lightbringer, is coming later this year, so check that out. Next up, historical fantasy. My next two picks, first of which is Ironcast, are historical fantasies. So Ironcast is set in the 1920s, which is my favorite time to read about, and it's set at a speakeasy a lot of the time, which personally, as a person who's never experienced a speakeasy, is very thrilling, very out of the ordinary, and it is very lyrical, very enchanting. I devoured this book in a day, and I could not wait to reread it. It is one of my favorite books of all time. Last but definitely not least, The Gilded Wolves. I know a lot of people love this book because it is very lovable. It is a heist book with a full cast of characters. It is diverse. It is absolutely, again, magical. And it has a lot of historical influence as well as dealing with lore. So a lot of it is about kind of the myth of the Tower of Babylon. So I find that very exciting because it has this sort of real-world connection that really draws me into the book. So that is all for today. I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you do, swipe up, like, and subscribe, and don't forget to tell me what your favorite fantasy books are in the comments. Thank you!